Dang, dude. What, did you just come out of a sandstorm or something?
I feel like I'm sitting at a beach right now laying in the sand.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna continue working on our 2020 Jeep Gladiator. And what we wanna do is actually remove the rest of this interior, like that rear seat, the center console, the rest of that carpet, and we're gonna leave that driver's seat in there because we are gonna need to move this sucker around from time to time. And also there is some wires that run along this pillar that will need to get moved out of the way because we are gonna be doing a lot of drilling, cutting, welding, and some pulling, obviously, so we don't wanna risk damaging anything. But before we do that, we do wanna remove this hardtop because it is kind of in the way. And also while we're at it, we're gonna inspect all the damages to see if we can save this sucker. So let's just go ahead and get started with that, and then we'll move on to the rest of the interior. Wow, dude. Those are some powerful clips, ain't they?
Yeah, see these things right here? They actually clip onto these little nubs right here, and them suckers are tough. Probably one of the toughest clips I ever popped off right there. But look at that, one big panel, opened up a bunch of things over here. I don't know what this is right here, and there's another little box right here. But dude,
we're just kind of just digging into this thing. There's no videos of people doing this because it's a 2020, of course, so there's not a lot of information on it.
There you go, right here, man.
Check it out, dude. We got this hard top off as well, and it kind of looks what do you think? I think it
kind of looks weird with the top off because now it looks like one long bed. I can imagine when you take these roll cage off,
dude,
what it would look like.
Do they come off?
Wait, one thing I was thinking that I didn't really think about, do they make half doors for this Jeep?
Yes, they do.
They really do?
Yeah, they actually look really good.
No, the OEM half doors?
Oh, I don't know about OEM half doors,
because I know the JKs do the OEM half doors. Did they stop making those half doors?
I think they quit making that, but that looks really sick. You can buy like the aftermarket metal steel half doors, and they look pretty dang cool too, so we might have to look into that. Ooh.
Yep. One thing on the hard top right here, we found this little piece. I know there's some professionals out there that probably can fix this, but we're not professional in this thing. And there's actually cracks all the way around, and the inside started splitting apart. So we may be looking at a new top.
And that piece right there is like $2,000 right there?
Yeah, like 1,800. The primered one is $2,000 because we possibly will probably color match that thing. Dude. They actually will look really good. The actual Freedom panels themselves cost way more than that rear section, which is crazy. They're like $2,000. That's like $1,800, but I think one of ours is good, so we're just gonna have to order one side. And what did we think about over there in the back?
Lift this up, dude. Check this out, guys. This is just a little concept we were thinking about. What if you did like a little camper top, color match the whole entire thing, had a top on there as well, and just camper top? I think that would look really sick right there.
Same look, the hard top and camper top. If there was like the same texture, same design, dude, that thing will look sick, especially all painted.
Yeah, and a big old glass right here, dude. That'd look pretty dang cool.
Dude,
I don't know.
It would look like a totally different Jeep that I don't even know if somebody made that up yet or not, man. There you go, a little idea of somebody that's good on making tops.
You'll see that out here real soon, probably.
Maybe in the SEMA 2021 or something like that. But dude, that would look sick. If something comes out like that, we may have to copy it, but for right now we're gonna go ahead and keep popping these panels off. We're gonna go ahead and remove this tray and then this one panel on this side. So everything is coming apart pretty dang easy on this 2020 Gladiator. We didn't have to Google anything because, I mean, it is a Jeep after all. That center console was on like 4 bolts and a couple wires and it just popped right out.
And the only thing that we got left is some wires on this pillar right here, or apron, whatever you want to call it. But it is super late on us. As you can tell, it got dark. We did get an early start, and it is also an ice box in here, and we ran out of kerosene, so we're gonna have to catch you guys tomorrow bright and early in the morning. All right, so it is the next day here, and before we continue working, I do want to mention that we just got a brand new hoodie on the website. This is our newest design, and they are super comfortable, and also they are very limited. We don't really run much of these, and they sell out pretty dang quick. So if you want to help support your boys, definitely go check out goonzquad.com and cop you one. But as of right now, what we're gonna do is actually strip all these wires off this pillar and also that rocker panel there, because we are gonna be doing cutting, welding, and drilling as we mentioned, and we may even have to remove this sound bar here and some other trim pieces on this roll cage. So let's go ahead, keep moving, and get this thing stripped. All right, so this sucker is coming apart and that pillar is looking bare, but we did find some damaged items, didn't we?
Yeah, we found some broken brackets for the wiring harness. They were actually pinched pretty hard, so I had to like force them out of there. And we did manage to find some exposed wires right here. Probably the reason why our tail light's not working or our bed lights. So we're definitely gonna have to go through these, make sure there's 100% connection on all the wires. But other than that, dude, this thing is coming apart pretty simply.
Look at what we found, dude.
Yeah, we did find a little guttering system on this Jeep, which is pretty crazy. It just plugs up into here and actually goes out of a hole right here at the bottom. There's one on both sides. I don't know what this is for. Probably
because there's standing water on these hard tops and it just drains it down, you know.
Or that seal, you know how it splits in the middle? That's probably
that.
exactly what it probably leads somewhere in here and just drains. So if you unplug this in a Jeep and you don't plug that sucker back in, man, that thing would suck.
I wonder if the older Jeeps actually had this, or this may be a new design actually.
Or maybe even the soft top Jeeps, you know how they don't have no seam at all. So it's pretty crazy. Maybe they all have them, I don't know, but we managed to get all this stuff apart. Right now, what are we gonna do? Lead this wire into
we're gonna try to disconnect this sound bar because it is gonna be in the way as well. It's holding this wire.
And we did notice one thing.
Check this out. We disconnected the battery, right? Oh, it's not working anymore.
What? No power at all now. That was weird. Oh, there is power. So one weird thing is the battery is completely 100% disconnected, and we kept noticing some lights on. So it's pretty crazy. There's probably a secondary battery. Didn't somebody email you about it?
Yeah, a tech for Jeep Gladiator actually emailed me and said there's a secondary battery on here. I didn't believe him at first, but it's looking like there is a secondary battery.
Probably one in like a fender well. Did he say like a fender well, something like that?
Something like that. I'll have to go.
I wonder how big it is, because there's not much room in that engine bay or underneath there. So it's probably a little battery, maybe the same size.
Oh, look, it started working. So we definitely got to find that before we start disconnecting these major plugs here, because we don't want to risk damaging the ECU.
I left like like all these grounds on and stuff like that, because we don't want any more extra warning lights. So anyways, let's just go ahead, try to lead this wire and remove this sound bar.
All right, so most of these wires are getting moved out of the way. As you can tell here, we got a big mess of wires, other than this one plug right here that kind of got jammed. So we're gonna have to remove that once it gets pulled out. As far as the auxiliary battery, we did actually locate it, and it sits under this battery, believe it or not, and it is like a tiny battery like this. And I think that's for like the the inverter and all that good stuff where you plug in your sockets.
It's for the auto on and off whenever you stop at a stop sign.
I didn't know that the manuals do that, you know?
This little button right here, it's an A with a little circle and an arrow around it. It actually, yeah, I didn't know it could do
auto
that.
start and stop whenever you stop on a manual. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know how that's going to work whenever you release the clutch maybe and then it cuts on.
We're going to have to test that out for sure, but we also removed that speaker there. And I noticed that there's no subwoofer in this Jeep, which is pretty dang weird. Most Rubicons should come equipped with subwoofers.
All Rubicons should,
definitely.
I mean, the older TJs and JKs did, you know, that's just an option for the Rubicon, but this one didn't come with nothing. I think the more upgraded one actually comes with a Bluetooth speaker and a little subwoofer and a little workout bar right there.
This sucker is light, so there's definitely, maybe there's like little subwoofer speakers in there, but we're not too worried about that. As of right now, what are we gonna do actually?
We need to go ahead and actually remove that fender up front there.
Oh yeah, that's right. We do have some damage here, and we are gonna be splicing it into this panel right here, whatever you call it.
Yeah, we did buy this panel. It's actually the whole piece that goes all the way up there. I don't know what. Dog leg, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we need to go ahead and remove that fender
flare and all that good stuff, and then we're gonna see what's going on behind it. Alright, so I just noticed that this fender does in fact got a real vent in it right there, which is pretty cool for airflow purposes and whatnot. But we were able to pop it off all as one unit after a couple 10mm bolts. And of course it does have that little dinger in it right here. And this is aluminum, which I think we'll be able to repair that with some heat and some body filler. And we should be able to save this probably expensive fender, right?
Yeah, dude, that thing's probably like $400 something. And it's original, not that much damage. So we're definitely gonna need to save that sucker.
But let's see what was going on behind it. We got some good signs actually. We did order this whole entire piece right here, but it is actually in fact good. So we may be able to just splice it in right here because it is good from here on up. But we'll just have to go to V-Tune for that, and we'll see what he wants to do there. What else do we got in here? We got this little turbo right here.
Dude, that thing looks like a little turbo, but that's actually a big fat cat right there.
It's a fat cat right there, a catalytic converter. I wonder if this thing would actually sound like straight piped or even with an exhaust on it,
just
dude.
A regular exhaust. It's 3.6. Is there a 3.6?
It's a 3.6 V6, and maybe
the older ones were a 3.8 or something like that.
3.8. It may be a little bit raspy, but we'll look into that a little bit later. But it also has a supercharger built into it right there.
Dang sure sounds like one, but that's actually, what is it called?
The electric hydro assist power steering. I don't know if that's the technical term on it, but the police car also had it, and it actually handles really nice. I'm happy to see it on these new Jeeps.
Oh yeah, especially with big tires and stuff like that on the trail, dude. That's gonna make a big difference, dude.
I can only imagine what it's gonna be like on the trails, but that's pretty much it. Everything else is looking good so far. As of right now, we do got a huge mess on our hands, and we're gonna start sorting this stuff out. That way it makes the assembly a lot better, and that way we don't lose track of anything. So let's go ahead, grab some baggies, back some bolts up, and sort this stuff out, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so now that we got this area cleaned up, everything sorted out and stored away, now it is time to actually start removing this bed right here. We don't know exactly how it comes off, and we're just gonna have to just go for it, send it, and see if we can just get this sucker out of the way, maybe even pick it up once we unbolt it, right? And the reason why we are getting it out of the way is because we gotta get to that quarter panel, right?
Yeah, that quarter panel seam actually runs right behind this bed right here, so we're gonna need everything out of the way just to get to that seam, remove the quarter panel, and this is gonna be a lot of fun removing this thing.
Yeah, dude, maybe we'll turn this thing into a flatbed, who knows?
Who knows how it looks like once we get it off, you know? Maybe it look cool, dude. Throw just a slab of steel right there and just call it a day.
Some diamond plate on the back there. I wonder if we actually have to remove this bumper or not. What do you think?
I don't know, maybe that's just straight up bolted down to the frame itself. Who knows, man? We're just gonna have to just fully, like I said, send it and see if we can get this bed off. Dang, dude.
Would you just come out of a sandstorm or something?
I feel like I'm sitting at a beach right now, laying in the sand. There's
Hey,
so
man.
much sand under here.
You ain't gotta go to the beach. The Jeep brings the beach to you.
I know,
Oh my
right? That's what I'm
gosh.
saying.
Dang.
That's how it's done, man. These are some super tough clips, but
Those weren't even strong enough. You just had to yank it and it sounded scary, but
yeah, it kind of broke a few clips, but now we're probably just gonna have to go with some aftermarket flares, I guess, you know?
I guess so.
That sucks, but this bed is getting loose. See that?
I think we can both handle it by ourselves.
Probably handle it, pick it up, you on that side, me on this side. We just gotta undo one thing. The reason why we took this off is because we need to see how this fuel neck nozzle just unbolts right here. And I think that's the only thing, or there is actually a few metal wires or
Yeah, there's a few wires for, I think, for the taillights and also that little cargo.
and I think
socket.
there's a wire that's for the axle breather too that's actually connected.
So look at this. Is this quick disconnects?
That looks like it. We might just disconnect it from right here unless we can just pop this little plastic piece off right here, and then that'll be a lot easier. So let's go ahead and try to figure this out and hopefully get this bed off.
Man, that sucker was a lot heavier than I thought, man.
That thing weighed a ton, but we finally got it off, dude. That thing looks pretty cool right there,
Pretty cool.
dude.
Looks pretty cool here. Look how
This
filthy
crazy,
it is, dude.
This thing has so much sand, man. I'm telling you, man, we're gonna have a little beach going on by the time we're done with this Jeep. But dude, check it out, man. Never seen a Jeep like this before.
Dude, it's perfect concept to do like a little flatbed or something like that.
Oh
But
yeah, dude. We can just make little brackets here, slap a little flatbed, and that should be it right
That
there.
should be it. But guys, it did actually get super late on us. We did get a lot of work done, so we're gonna have to catch you guys tomorrow in the morning.
All right, so it is the next day. What we want to do is actually pull this truck outside and give it a nice wash, because if you can't tell already, we got some sand dunes going on inside our garage because this thing is just leaking sand everywhere, and it's kind of hard to work on as well when you're underneath there and stuff. It just gets up all in your eyes, in your clothes. So we want to go ahead and wash this thing up. I mean, look at that, dude. That's like muddy sand.
Dude,
I mean,
I
it's like
wonder-
2020, so.
I wonder if they took it to the sand dunes or something,
Sand
man.
dunes or some Florida mud, you know, that's probably like Florida mud, you know, super sandy or something like that.
Dude,
Man,
I'm just tired of looking at it like
I mean,
this.
I probably would have did the same thing if I got a brand new 2020 Rubicon, you know, I would have took it off-road. But anyways, let's go ahead and actually give this thing a nice power wash, try to get all this sand off of it and maybe even get up underneath this thing.
All right, so we just power washed this truck and it looks a lot better, but I gotta say the previous owner definitely got their use out of this thing, but you know what? They didn't do it right because we got some crazier things coming for this thing, and you see all this stock stuff
Oh
here?
man, we got a
We're gonna get rid of it.
Yeah, we're gonna get rid of it, and we got a complete lift kit. We just can't tell them what we got because this is something super crazy. We're super excited to do this lift. We've never done something like
It's
this
gonna be
before.
epic. You know we gotta do this right. We're gonna do it big. All this stock stuff that you see here, that track bar, them control arms, we're gonna get rid of those. And this little thing right here, I
Little
don't even,
Fox shocks right there.
there.
I can't handle no jumps right there. We need
Them
something
OEM
powerful.
little things.
But as of right now, that is going to be it for today. Make sure your post notifications are on so you don't miss out on anything. And also, if you want an inside scoop, definitely be sure to follow us on Instagram at goonzquad. Also, guys, if you want to help support your boys, definitely be sure to check out the new hoodies on the website at goonzquad.com. They are very limited, as we mentioned, so they're not going to last long. So with all that being said, thank you guys for all the love and support. Be sure to drop your comments and thoughts down below, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.